I can do better than a guy like you. She laughed after cheating and kicking me out. So I nodded, ghosted her, and rebuilt my life. Now she's pregnant, broke, begging, and realizing better was a total lie. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Hey Reddit, buckle up because this is one of those stories that starts like a bad dream and ends with me wondering why I didn't wake up sooner. I'm Ben, 34 now, but this all kicked off when I was 32. I was married to Mia for 5 years, and looking back, I see how much I poured into that relationship while getting scraps in return. I thought that's what commitment looked like, being the steady guy who shows up no matter what. Turns out, it made me an easy target for someone who thrived on drama and entitlement. We met in college, back when Mia was this vibrant art major full of big dreams about gallery shows and traveling the world. I was studying IT, practical stuff, because I wanted a stable life. After graduation, I landed a solid job as a systems analyst. Nothing flashy, but it paid the bills and let me support her while she chased her passions. She struggled to get her footing as an artist, rejections from shows, part-time gigs that barely covered supplies. I picked up the slack without complaint. Worked overtime, skipped my own hobbies, even turned down a promotion once because it would have meant relocating, and Mia was in the middle of a big project she swore would be her breakthrough. Flashback to one of those sacrifices. It was our 3rd anniversary, and I'd saved up for a weekend getaway, something simple like a cabin upstate. But Mia had just gotten into this local art collective, and she needed the money for materials instead. Ben, this could be it for me, she'd said, eyes sparkling with that excitement I used to love. We can celebrate later, right? You're always so understanding. I agreed, of course, transferred the funds to her account, and spent the weekend fixing up our apartment instead. That was me, reliable Ben, always putting her first. Things started shifting about 2 years ago. Mia's dissatisfaction crept in like fog. At first, it was little things, sighing when I'd suggest a quiet night in, scrolling through social media during dinner, hyping up these inspiring people she followed online. She'd compare me subtly. Look at this guy. He quit his job to backpack Europe. That's living, Ben. We're just existing. I'd brush it off, thinking it was stress from her stalled career. But then the emotional abandonment ramped up. She'd cancel plans last minute for networking events, come home late smelling like wine and someone else's cologne. I ignored the red flags because I loved her, or at least the version of her I'd built in my head. The public disrespect was what really stung. Mia started posting these vague, mocking things on social media. Stuff like memes about boring husbands who think pizza night is an adventure, or stories with captions like, "When your life needs more spark fire #upgrade season." She wouldn't tag me directly, but our mutual friends knew. They'd message me awkwardly. "Everything okay, man?" I'd laugh it off, but inside it chipped away. Why broadcast that? It felt like she was auditioning for a new audience, one that didn't include me. Then came the clues about the cheating. Her phone buzzing at odd hours, passcode changed for privacy. I found a receipt for a fancy dinner I hadn't been to, and when I asked, she deflected. "Just treating myself, Ben. You should try it sometime." Deep down, I knew, but I didn't confront her explosively. That's not me. I waited, hoping she'd come clean or it was nothing. Spoiler, it wasn't. It all boiled over one Friday evening. I'd come home early from work, hoping to surprise her with takeout from her favorite Thai place, another small gesture to bridge the growing gap. But when I walked in, Mia was on the couch, laptop open, giggling at her screen. She slammed it shut when she saw me, but not before I caught a glimpse of a chat window with heart emojis. "Ben, we need to talk," she said, not even looking surprised. Her tone was casual, like she was discussing weekend plans. I set the food down, my stomach twisting, but I kept my voice steady. "Okay, what's up?" She stood up, crossing her arms, that smug little smile playing on her lips. It was the same one she'd used when critiquing her own art, detached, superior. "I've been thinking a lot lately. About us. About what I want." I nodded, leaning against the kitchen counter. "And you're a good guy, Ben. Really. But I can do better than a guy like you." She laughed then, a sharp, incredulous bark, like the idea of staying with me was absurd. "I mean, come on. We got married young. and I thought stability was enough. But Jake, he's different. He's building this startup, traveling, living big. He excites me in ways you just don't. Jake. I'd heard the name before, some entrepreneur she'd met at an art networking event. Flashy guy, always posting about his luxury car and exotic trips on social media. The kind who screams scam if you look close, but Mia ate it up. I felt the floor shift under me, but I didn't yell or beg. So you've been seeing him? I asked flatly. She shrugged, not even denying it. Yeah, for a couple months. It's not just physical, though that's part of it. He gets my art, pushes me to dream bigger. You? You're content with your 9, 2, 5 and Netflix. I need more. I deserve more. Her words landed like punches, each one laced with that entitlement she'd hidden for years. But what hurt most was the public angle. She'd already been hinting at this online, turning our private issues into her personal brand. Remember that post I made last week? She continued, waving her phone. About needing more spark? That was about us. People messaged me, saying I should go for it. And they're right. I stood there, processing. Flashback to another moment. Last year, when Mia had a breakdown after a gallery rejection. I'd held her through the night, reassuring her she was talented, even dipping into savings to fund her next submission. Now, here she was, laughing at me. That night escalated fast. Mia paced the living room, her energy manic, like she'd rehearsed this. I'm not happy, Ben. Haven't been for a while. Jake makes me feel alive. We're talking about me moving in with him. His place is amazing, overlooking the city. You get the apartment for now, but we'll sort the divorce later. I sat on the couch, hands clasped to keep them from shaking. So that's it. You're leaving for him. She stopped, turning to me with that dismissive smirk. Yes, and honestly, you should thank me. This is your wake-up call. Maybe now you'll stop being so average. Find someone who matches your energy, low as it is. Her logic twisted like a pretzel. It's not cheating if the relationship was already dead. She justified, eyes narrowing. You stopped trying ages ago. All you do is work and complain about being tired. Jake, he invests in me, buys me supplies, introduces me to galleries. What have you done lately besides pay bills? I could have argued, reminded her of the bills I paid so she could create, the nights I listened to her vent. But what was the point? She was rewriting history to suit her narrative. Mia, if this is what you want, fine, I said calmly, standing up. But you're the one kicking me out. She laughed again, louder this time. Technically, it's our place, but yeah, pack your shit and go. Stay with a friend, or whatever. I need space to think, and Jake's coming over later. That was the final slap, inviting him here while I was still processing. I didn't explode. Instead, I nodded. All right. I went to the bedroom, grabbed a duffel bag, and started packing essentials, clothes, laptop, a few books. She watched from the doorway, arms crossed, like she was supervising. You're really just okay with this? She asked, sounding almost disappointed I wasn't fighting. What do you want me to say, Mia? Beg? Yell? That's not me. I zipped the bag, slung it over my shoulder. Good luck with Jake. Hope he's everything you think. She rolled her eyes. He is. And don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Better than fine. As I headed for the door, she called out. You know, Ben, you'll never find someone like me again. I'm one of a kind. I paused at the threshold, key in hand. Maybe that's the point. Then I walked out, the door clicking shut behind me. No dramatic exit, no last words. Just quiet detachment. In the elevator, the weight hit me, 5 years gone. But even then, I didn't cry or rage. I drove to a buddy's place, crashed on his couch, and stared at the ceiling, letting the confusion wash over me. Why had I stayed so long? How had I missed the signs? It felt unfair, like I'd been playing by rules she never followed. The days after were a blur of numbness. I crashed at my friend Mark's for a week, barely eating, replaying every moment in my head. The confusion gnawed at me. How could someone I'd supported so fully turn so cruel? Flashback to early in our marriage. Mia lost her job, spiraling into depression. I took extra shifts to cover rent, cooked meals, even researched therapists for her. You're my rock, Ben, she'd whispered one night. Now, that rock was discarded like trash. I didn't contact her. Blocked her number, social media, everything. It wasn't spite, it was self-preservation. The unfairness lingered. I'd given up parts of myself for her dreams, only to be mocked as average. But wallowing wasn't my style. After that first week, I forced myself into action. Found a cheap studio apartment in a quieter part of town, nothing fancy, but mine. Transferred jobs to a branch office an hour away. Better pay, less commute stress. The emotional middle dragged on. Mornings were rough. I'd wake up reaching for her side of the bed, then remember. Evenings, I'd sit alone, journaling the hurt. Why wasn't I enough? But slowly, clarity emerged. This wasn't about my shortcomings. It was her entitlement. I started small changes. Joined a gym, not for revenge body BS, but because moving felt good. Picked up hiking, something I'd shelved for her city-loving ways. Work-wise, I threw myself into projects, earning a small promotion. Months passed in that quiet rebuild. No dating yet. I wasn't ready. Just me, piecing together a life without her shadow. Friends checked in, sharing rumors. Mia and Jake were official, posting couple pics everywhere. It stung, but I didn't stalk or react. I vanished from her world, focusing on mine. Internally, the vulnerability faded. Confusion turned to resolve. This was a dodge, I told myself. Better now than later. By 6 months out, I felt free. Lighter. Like I'd shed a weight I didn't know I carried. Fast forward about 8 months. I'd settled into my new routine, promoted to senior analyst at work, hitting the trails every weekend. Even started volunteering at a local tech mentorship program. Life wasn't perfect, but it was mine, and the peace was addictive. I hadn't heard from Mia directly since the breakup, thanks to the blocks, but mutual friends filled in the gaps without me asking. At first, it was the glossy stuff. Her and Jake splashing across social media, her art thriving with his connections. But cracks showed soon enough. Turns out, Jake wasn't the golden boy she thought. He was a classic user, charming on the surface, but his startup was more smoke and mirrors, funded by shady loans and hype. Mia moved in with him quick, quitting her part-time job to focus on art full-time. Big mistake. Friends whispered that he'd gotten her pregnant within months, promising the world, a family, support for her career. But when the novelty wore off, he bailed. Cheated with some younger influencer type, left Mia high and dry with mounting bills from their lavish lifestyle. She tried to keep up appearances online, but the posts got sparser, more desperate. Her reputation tanked when the truth leaked. Mutual acquaintances saw her public mocks of me as petty, especially now that Jake's true colors showed. A couple friends even reached out to apologize for not calling her out sooner. Her downfall felt earned, not in a vengeful way, but like the universe balancing the scales. She'd chased better, only to end up broke, isolated, crashing on her sister's couch after eviction. No gallery deals materialized. Turns out Jake's connections were as fake as his affection. She lost followers, friends distanced themselves. Nobody wants to back a sinking ship. Me? I heard all this secondhand and felt nothing. Not satisfaction, not pity. Just confirmation that detaching was the right call. I'd rebuilt stronger, financially secure with savings I'd stashed away post-split. If anything, it reinforced my internal shift, from questioning my worth to knowing it solidly. The attempt started small, about a year after I left. First, an email. She'd found my work address somehow. "Ben, it's Mia. I miss us." Jake was a huge mistake. He used me and left when things got real. "Can we talk? I know I hurt you, but I've grown." I deleted it without replying. Then text from a new number. "Please, just hear me out. I'm sorry for everything. You were always so good to me." Ignored those two. But she escalated. Voicemails piled up, her voice shifting from remorseful to pleading. One night, my phone rang from an unknown caller, her sister, Carla, who I'd always found pushy and unpleasant. "Ben, it's Carla. Listen, you need to talk to Mia. She's a mess, pregnant, alone, and it's partly your fault for bailing so quick." I let it go to voicemail first, but she called back. When I picked up, her tone was accusatory. "How can you ignore her like this? She made one mistake, but you're acting like a child. Family sticks together. Come on, man up and help her out." "Mistake," I said calmly, finally responding because the toxicity boiled over. "She cheated, kicked me out, and laughed about it. I'm not family anymore." Carla huffed. "Oh, please." She was confused, under stress. Jake manipulated her. Now she's got nothing, and you're thriving? That's cold, Ben. At least meet her. She's begging. I hung up without another word, blocked the number. But Mia didn't stop. A week later, she showed up at my old office. Thankfully, I transferred, but a former coworker tipped me off. Then, the in-person ambush. I was grabbing coffee near my new place when she appeared, looking worn, hair messy, clothes loose, eyes red from crying. Ben, thank God. I need to talk to you. She rushed over, grabbing my arm. Her voice cracked with desperation. Please, just 5 minutes. I realize now what I had with you. Stability, love, Jake was all flash, no substance. He cheated, left me pregnant and broke. I lost everything because I was stupid. I stepped back, keeping my tone even. Mia, this isn't the time or place. But it is, she insisted, tears streaming. I've changed. Therapy, reflection. I see how I manipulated you. The comparisons, the posts. It was wrong. We can start over. I'll make it up to you. Please, Ben. I need you. Her hypocrisy hung in the air. She justified her betrayal as growth, now twisting back for sympathy. I shook my head. No, Mia. That's not happening. She shifted then, desperation turning to anger, true colors flashing. How can you be so heartless? After everything? I thought you loved me. You're just punishing me now, aren't you? Pathetic, holding a grudge while I suffer. I didn't engage the rage. Goodbye, Mia. Walked away, leaving her fuming on the sidewalk. The power reversal was clear. She was unraveling, grasping at a life I'd long left behind. Her friends tried next, a group text from 2 mutuals, pleading her case. She's really sorry, Ben. Give her a chance. Blocked them too. The attempts grew frantic, but I stayed detached, my peace intact. It all culminated at our mutual friend Mark's birthday party, about 18 months post-breakup. I debated skipping it, knowing word might have spread, but Mark insisted. Come celebrate. Man, you deserve it. I showed up feeling good, fit from hiking, confident in a sharp button-down. Even brought a date, Sarah, someone I'd met through volunteering. Nothing serious yet, but she was kind, grounded, the opposite of drama. The party was at Mark's backyard, string lights and laughter filling the air. I was chatting with old friends when Mia appeared, uninvited, looking like a shadow of herself. Gaunt, maternity clothes hanging loose. She'd had the baby by then, left with her sister. Eyes locked on me. She weaved through the crowd, desperate energy radiating. Ben, she said, voice trembling as she cornered me near the grill. Heads turned subtly. The contrast was stark, me thriving, her diminished. I had to come. This can't end like this. I see you now, happy, successful. That's what we could have had. Please, let's talk. I was wrong, so wrong. Jake ruined me. But you were real. Her plea hung there, hypocritical after all the cruelty. Friends watched, the public setting amplifying her failure against my quiet rise. I met her gaze, calm and distant, like addressing a stranger. Mia, that chapter closed a long time ago. I've built a life where you're just a memory, and not one I revisit. I've got opportunities now, peace I never had before. You're irrelevant to that, completely. Good luck with whatever comes next. She blinked, tears welling. But, I love you. Doesn't that mean anything? Not anymore, I said firmly, turning back to Sarah and the group. The indifference was genuine. I didn't care about her feelings or fallout. She lingered a moment, then slunk away, the party resuming without her. Power flipped. She chased what she discarded, only to find it gone. Looking back, detaching was the best decision. I'm free, evolved, and she's a footnote. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.